You're listening to the Magnetic Boss Podcast, a place for spiritual entrepreneurs and visionary women. I'm Calandra, intuitive brand designer and founder of the Magnetic Boss Studio, where we cultivate magnetic brands, websites, and a social media presence for our clients. On this podcast, you'll learn how to begin cultivating your magnetic brand so you can attract dream clients with ease. Each month, we'll bring you real, raw conversations and industry guest experts to help you create your most magnetic self. Thank you for listening today. Now let's get this party started. On today's episode, I am joined by Allyson Scammell. Allyson Scammell is a master intuitive coach, psychic medium, and energy healer. Her mission is to help soul-guided leaders, influencers, and entrepreneurs to upgrade their energy frequency to gain unstoppable momentum in life and business. As the founder of the Soul Guide Academy, Allyson has helped thousands of leaders and lightworkers to earn more, serve more, and grow spiritually along the way. She regularly shares priceless wisdom and insight on Soul Guide Radio, a podcast for soul-guided influencers ready to unlock massive soul-aligned success. So happy to have you on the Magnetic Boss Podcast.
I am thrilled to be here, Calandra.
We have been connected for a few years now, and this is the first time you've been on the podcast. So will you tell our audience a bit about yourself and how you started the work that you are doing now?
Yeah, so I thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here. I had a 17-year career in international development and humanitarian response, and it was the exact career I had dreamt about as a child. I didn't have the words to describe it as a child, but I ended up manifesting that thing that I just felt in my heart. And then about 10 years into it, I realized it wasn't the way I wanted to give back. And I often felt like I was part of policies I didn't believe in. And my work had turned into this adrenaline rush for life overseas. And I was feeling pretty empty inside. So then I went on a journey to discover, what do I really want to do? How do I really want to give back? If it's not this, then what is it? And that question did not come to me overnight. I will tell you that much. I wrote 2 full books, a novel and a memoir.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
300, 400 pages. I spent years on them. And I just decided for both of them, they just weren't the books I wanted to share. So I didn't even pursue publishing them. I tried to launch a line of women's business suits, that fit our body properly, machine washable, they look good, all the things. And well, I got to a point in that pursuit where I knew I had to take the leap of faith, and I just decided not to. And then at a certain point, I stumbled upon life coaching. And this was back, 2012, 2013. It wasn't quite as well known then as it is today. And I was like, well, this is hokey. What is this all about? Well, I decided to, go down that rabbit hole anyway. And it eventually led me to Martha Beck, which is where I got my studies. I did her life coaching and her master coaching certification. And then that really opened a portal door for me to my own gifts and my own unique genius and my spiritual gifts. And that's really, allowed me to answer that question. What am I really here to do? Who am I really here to be? And I feel like after, 46 years, I just had my 46th birthday. I feel like I'm finally in a real alignment to that. And it's a pretty good feeling place to be.
That's amazing. Well, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
I just love the evolution. It's so interesting to hear stories from various entrepreneurs, because we all have these moments of uncertainty and not knowing what exactly it is that we're doing or what we're supposed to be doing. And I love that you have such a strong expertise now in helping leaders and light workers and spiritual entrepreneurs really become a soul client magnet and work with the people that they want to be working with. And I know that you use this term a lot, soul client. So can you tell us a little bit about what that is and what that means for business owners?
I would be so happy to. I'm sure anybody, any listener out there who's been in business for any amount of time has probably filled out a questionnaire for your ideal client avatar. And does she like to eat Thai food? What magazines does she read? I remember in 2013, I did Marie Forleo's B School. And back then, I don't know what it looks like now. She had like a 25-page survey. And I remember at the time thinking, oh my gosh, I have no idea what sport she likes to play. It was all these super detailed questions to try to help us get to know our ideal client avatar. And I just struggled because I didn't know. And so then, as I mentioned, I continued on this journey. And I realized at a certain point when I started to tap into my own gifts that I didn't need to know. I didn't need to know if she liked Thai food or not. I didn't need to know what her idiosyncrasies were. What I needed was to feel her. I actually needed to get out of my head and into my heart. Now, I'm a type A person. I like to see the evidence in the world. So if any listeners like, well, yeah, that feels very touchy-feely to feel her. What I can tell you, when I started to drop into my heart and connect with her energetically, and I'm just using the pronoun her, but use the pronoun that works for your soul client avatar, that's when I actually started to attract clients into my real world experience. And so to get to your question, what is a soul client? I define a soul client as the people we were born to serve. And on a soul level, we agreed to serve each other and to help each other out on our path at a certain point in our lifetime. So they agreed to arrive to you and invest in your business or in you, and you agreed in return to give them something that they need on a soul level. So it's not work that's nice to do or fun to do. It's actually need to do work. And this holds true whatever you do. You don't have to be some sort of energy healer. If you design t-shirts, this concept holds true for you. And when you start to really connect to soul clients, you're fitting together like a puzzle piece. Your unique genius is uniquely designed to alleviate her pains and to bring her closer to her desires, and most importantly, give her exactly what she needs. And so when you connect to her, that energetic resonance is so strong. It's so high. I always say, you got to make sure that you have a price tag that matches that resonance. Because if you're pricing your stuff too low, you actually could miss connecting with her. So it's often when we raise our prices that we're able to even bring in our soul client avatar, because our soul clients are not bargain shoppers. They're not price shoppers. They are looking to really invest in themselves, and they're looking for, you've got something they need. And on a soul level, they know that, and they're willing and they're looking to invest more for that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you mentioned the pricing, because I have experienced in my own business in the past trying to finagle prices to fit what I thought was the industry standard or what I thought I was supposed to be charging for something. And the results of that was a lot of misaligned clients and clients that didn't have that hell yes, you're, the soulmate BFF client experience. And there were a lot of roadblocks along the way. And so what I've experienced, and I'd love to hear your experience on this too, Allyson, is that when you have a soul client, they're willing to pay almost anything to work with you because there is such a strong energetic connection there.
100%. And I'm glad you mentioned industry standard. When you're dealing with soul clients, this is when you throw industry standards out the window. I work with a lot of healers. And what healers have a going rate. They charge anywhere from like $75 an hour to like $250 an hour, which is on the higher end of the industry standard. And if you want to charge more than that, it's kind of like the other healers will look at you and say, who do you think you are? Well, who are you to be charging more than that? You are someone who has massive gifts, whether you're a healer or not. But let's just say you're a healer and you have massive healing gifts. And I know if you're listening to this podcast, if you're connected to Calandra, I know that you feel that on a soul level, that you have really massive gifts. And as Calandra just said, when you attract in that person that you're born to serve and that puzzle piece is fit together, that energetic resonance is so powerful. So if you price yourself too low because you feel a need, you feel slaven to the industry standard, you're taking away from your client's transformation because you are going to show up at that lower frequency. And you're taking away her ability actually to heal deeper, receive more results, alleviate more pain. But when all we're doing here, we're not trying to just see how high we can raise our prices. That's not the game. The game is the truth. What is the truth of the energetic exchange between you, your offering, and your soul client avatar? Your price should match that. And very often when you're being really truthful, you'll find yourself in a situation where you're feeling called to triple, quadruple, or more your rates.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that it's really important to understand once you have done the increasing of your rates and shifting of maybe even your business model, how to start attracting those soul clients. So can you tell us a little bit about putting out the energetic signals that our soul clients can pick up on and what that might look like, both from a strategic and energetic standpoint?
Absolutely. So it is exactly what you just said, Calandra. It's about putting out that right energetic signal. You want to make it easy for your soul clients to find you. This is when it really helps to also get to know your human design type. That's a whole rabbit hole. I'm not a human design expert, but I am conversant in human design. And I can tell you, aligning to your type to put out your signal only boosts your signal. So I'm a projector. I'm a splenic projector. In human design, my calling is to be the lighthouse. So what I want to think about is I'm not thinking about pushing out a lot of content. I'm the one who has to preserve my energy because I can only create for like 4 hours a day, which can be really annoying actually. But so I want to think about how can I be the lighthouse and how can I shine my light so bright that the boats, who are my soul clients, can find me. And that's really ultimately true for all the human design types. But if you get to know your type a little bit and you can ask the question, when I'm aligned to my human design type, how am I vibrating and shining at my highest? So you want to think about 3 primary things to put out that right signal. You want to think about 1, and this is not new. This is not going to surprise anybody. However, I'm going to take a slightly different twist to it than maybe you've considered it before. 1, what is the primary pain point your soul client avatar is grappling with that your genius and your offerings are uniquely suited to help her alleviate? 2, what is her biggest desire she wants at the moment that your genius and your offerings are uniquely suited to help her bring into experience? And 3, what does she need from you, your genius, and your offerings right now? So you're thinking about pains, wants, and needs. So you probably have heard this before, from other marketing gurus and business coaches. However, how do you get that information? Well, yes, it's very important to go out and talk to your audience. If you're already working with a lot of people, notice when you see a theme, like let's say you're already working with clients and your last 5 clients have all come to you with the same pain point, I would say that's trying to get your attention, that pain point wants to be talked about. You're being asked, you're being tapped to write a social media post about that pain point. You're being tapped to design a live marketing event around that pain point, etc. Well, let's say you're not sure, like you're You're not working with any clients right now. You haven't noticed any trends. You're not really sure. Well, how do you do it? You get the information energetically. You use your intuition and you connect to her energy to get this information. So, Calandra, would you like to hear how I teach people to do this?
Of course, of course, of course.
Awesome. And would you like to go through the exercise with me and so we can tap into your soul client avatar?
Yes, and I hope that all of our listeners are taking notes and can take a moment to pause and listen in on this because I have a feeling it's going to be groundbreaking in your business.
Yes. I feel like it will too. I get that feedback a lot. And I get people telling me that it was actually more accurate than when they went out and interviewed like 20 different people, the information that came through energetically. Okay.
Totally.
So it's a 5-step process, and I'm going to talk you through it. And Calandra is going to be my model for the process. And so, Calandra, I just invite you to really go through it and connect in deep, and we'll see what happens. So, step 1 is always going to be some sort of practice to get you out of your thinking mind, trying to calculate what our biggest pain point is going to be. Unless you've just read a survey of 100 different people and you feel like you have a good idea. But still, in this process, is not about surveys. This process is about energy and intuition. So the more we can get out of our thinking mind, no matter how much data we've collected, actually the better. Because we have the data, okay, that can be helpful, but now we want to tune into what the energy and the intuition has to say. So we do that by step 1, deep breaths. Very simple. Big inhales, big exhales, just nice, deep, filling up the lower part of your belly, exhaling, really coming into the present moment, feeling yourself slowing down, and that's going to help quiet your thinking mind. Now, step 2 is another aspect of that, and I call it the pivot down. You pivot down and you place your awareness on your heart space, in your heart chakra. And that again is tuning you into the highest vibrational point in your body. And that's going to raise your energetic frequency, and that's going to help you to tune in more sharply to the energy and the intuition. So just becoming your heart space, placing your awareness on your heart space. And then step 3, I invite you to connect to the energy of your soul client avatar. And so, Calandra, I invite you to just connect to this energy and go ahead and do it as if you've never connected to her before. I'll just use the pronoun her, but go ahead and tell me if it's a different pronoun. And we'll just see if something new wants to come through. Maybe it will come through exactly as you expected, but just go ahead and pretend. Let the energy guide you to your soul client avatar. As if you've never done this before. And let the energy guide the way. And now step 4 is to ask her questions. And I'll just go ahead, and step 5 is to perceive what you receive to be coming back intuitively. So what do you sense? What do you see? What do you hear? What is your inner knowing telling you? And if you're not sure, I invite you to take your best guess. So, Calandra, I'm talking to your soul client avatar right now, and I invite you to tell me what you perceive to be receiving in response to my questions. So, soul client avatar, do you have a name?
Yes. Oh, there's no specific name, but I can feel her energy. It's a very vibrant and light and feminine and kind of all over the place.
I like that.
But in a good, creative way.
So that's beautiful. You've totally tapped into the energy. So light, vibrant, feminine energy. That's what we want to go towards. Tell me, light, vibrant, feminine energy, what is your number one pain point at the moment that Calandra is uniquely designed to help you alleviate?
Yeah, she's feeling a sense of being scattered and in overwhelm, analysis paralysis with her creative process and really wants to have something to anchor into and feel strong and grounded in.
Nice. And tell me, Light and Vibrant, how does being scattered and overwhelmed negatively impact your business?
Getting stuck in the creation and recreation process and never having full clarity on really who she is and what she's sharing with confidence.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Nice. And anything else you want to add, Light and Vibrant, about your pain points?
She wants to feel safe.
Ooh.
She wants to feel like she's heard and understood, but she also wants to know that there is hope and direction for her and that she doesn't have to do it alone.
Love it. Love it. Okay. Thank you, Light and Vibrant. So you've already talked about this. You want to be feel strong and grounded. You want to be heard. You want to feel safe. You want hope, direction. What else do you want?
The one word that comes up is freedom.
Love it. And Light and Vibrant, what is freedom going to give you?
Time and space, more time for personal endeavors and being present and enjoying the moment.
Nice. Beautiful. All right, Light and Vibrant, what do you need on a soul level from Calandra?
Creative direction.
Yes.
Someone to bounce ideas off of and feel as though they can be pulled together in a cohesive way.
Ooh, that's so good. So good. And Light and Vibrant, is there anything else you want Calandra to know?
That I'm willing to do anything to make my dreams possible.
Oh, love it. Thank you so much, Light and Vibrant. So, Calandra, that was amazing. Because I have a lot of experience with this, I know I can tell when the mind is filtering and offering answers that it thinks it should be, and when it's just the energy and intuition talking. And I felt this was just 100% on point energy and intuition of your soul client avatar. And I'll just offer you, so now as I go through, I was taking notes. This is beautiful, by the way. I'll give you some intuitive hits that I got. So this is something you can do after you connect energetically. Take some notes and go back and say, what's calling my name? So when you said creation and recreation, like she's stuck, she's overwhelmed, creating and recreating, I got a real hit on that. So, I mean, I think she's really suffering from that. Like I'm creating, I'm recreating, I'm spinning my wheels. It's not cohesive. It's incohesive. Like, obviously, like think about all the different social media posts you could write about that, or a podcast episode, or an entire coaching program to help her with that pain point. What comes to mind as I reflect that back to you?
Yeah, I think that this is something that I have experienced with clients, so it totally makes sense that this would have come through. And like you said, there's so many avenues, but what I'm finding right now is the one-on-one work is the most supportive way for people to kind of work through that and have the support that they need in processing all of those ideas and refining them into something that their audience really resonates with.
Beautiful. I love that. Yeah. And so I feel like getting back to like this process. So everything you just said feels 100% on point. So just talking about that, like, do you already have an offering that allow like a one-on-one offering that really would facilitate this process?
Yeah, and it's something that you and I worked on together, which is the brand incubator. But I think that there is a little bit more focus on the coaching and not the strategy necessarily, but really mapping out the vision that can be amplified in that process.
Yes. Yes. So this is, in this process of becoming the soul client magnet, it's not about 100% clarity overnight. That, unfortunately, that never happens. It's about the tweak and refine. Calandra's been at this for years, right? And you're tweaking and refining all the time. So you just got some really beautiful information that came from Light and Vibrant that she wants more one-on-one with you. She wants to feel safe. That was another word I got a big hit on. She wants to feel safe. She's got some healing that needs to be done, I feel, and that you're the person to help her heal, right? That's kind of one of the hats you wear as intuitive brand person. You're also a healer, I feel. And that's going to really help give her that hope, that direction, that cohesive way. And that's going to give her that freedom. So you tweaking and refining your offerings to be that thing she's looking for, right? It gives her everything. You, Calandra, are going to be a real soul client magnet. You're giving her everything she wants, everything she needs, and you're helping to alleviate her pains at the same time.
Yeah, I love that. That is so powerful and such a great exercise, Allyson.
Thank you. And you did it. You're an amazing student. You get a gold star.
I love it. Speaking of your spiritual gifts, you've mentioned this a few times, and a lot of our listeners are spiritual entrepreneurs, they're healers, and they're really familiar with this term. And I know that you're launching a new course about unlocking your spiritual genius. Can you tell us about that and some of the things that entrepreneurs might be coming up against in the sense of uncovering their spiritual gifts?
Absolutely. So this is the first course I've ever offered to my community that's been really driven by demand. It was just demand driven. I had so many people coming to me saying, can you offer this kind of spiritual only course where you're not so focused on the sales and marketing, but you're actually focused on helping us up level our spirituality and teaching advanced tools. And I thought, that sounds pretty fun. Yeah, I can do that. So I'm a psychic medium. I do a lot of channeling with Source. And so I went on, I say that I go and have play dates with Source. And so that's where I get my best downloads. And I downloaded from Source that we have all of us have 5 primary spiritual gifts. Now we have more than that. And there's different ways you can categorize your gifts. But as we live and work today, in this point in our evolution, all of our spiritual gifts fall into one of 5 categories. That 3 of them are pretty obvious. 2 of them are a little bit less obvious. The first is intuition, obviously. That's the gift that is present at all times when we're dealing with the spiritual realm. The second is healing. Again, probably not a surprise. The third is manifestation, which is a spiritual gift. The fourth and fifth, which might be a little less obvious, is the third is teaching. And that's how we take complex topics and ideas from the spiritual realm, or downloads, if you will, from our higher self, from our spirit guides, and we actually teach it and offer it to others. So we're passing this wisdom on to people who don't have as open access to the spiritual realm. And the fifth is leadership, spiritual leadership, where we're modeling. We're serving as the example of what is possible. We're showing people new ways to do it. And we're the calm energy in the storm, for example. And we're modeling a new kind of leadership, spiritual leadership, that's arriving on planet. So this 5-week course is going to take you through all 5 of your gifts, and it's going to teach you how to unlock it to the next level. Because Source has told me that most of us are only accessing, and this is among the light workers, you guys, not people who aren't into this stuff, but us light workers, most of us are only accessing about 10 to 15% of our spiritual gifts.
Wow.
And Source, yeah, isn't that crazy? And Source says, we want to get you guys to 100%, and you will be bending spoons right and left. So this course is to help us to get to 25 to 50 to 100%. And I'm really, really excited to be offering it.
That sounds absolutely amazing. I've been working with you a little behind the scenes on the page with all of the details for this course, and I just know how powerful it's going to be and so needed. Like you said, it's something that as spiritual entrepreneurs, we really focus on the strategy, we focus on the marketing and the growing of the business, but there is that soul level enhancement of our gifts that needs to happen as well.
Well, absolutely, 100%. And I don't know if you say this in the intro, Calandra, but I just want everybody to know that I am a long-term client of yours. Super, super happy. I feel like I'm a soul client. And Calandra and her team designed the sales page for this course. And I just think it looks awesome.
Oh, thank you, Allyson. Yeah, I didn't mention that in the intro, but it was really funny going through that exercise with you. I was trying to take my brain off of you because you are absolutely a soul client.
I was thinking to myself, I'm a little light and vibrant. I think I'm there's a piece of me in this soul client for sure.
Definitely. Well, will you tell everyone where they can find you online? We can put information on the course in the show notes as well, but where can people get connected with you?
Yeah, I'm going to offer a couple different ways. You can catch me at AllysonScammell.com. That's where my website where you can find more about my story and my offerings. The class is at AllysonScammell.com/spiritual-genius. My labor of love is my podcast, which Calandra has been a guest on. It's called Soul Guide Radio, and you can find that in all the places where you can listen to podcasts, also on my website at /podcast. And one other great place where I hang out is my closed Facebook group. That is the Soul Guide Circle, and we're over 1,800 leaders and light workers who are getting together to talk about running a soul-guided business and how to earn more, serve more, and grow spiritually along the way.
Amazing. I will put all of those links for our listeners in the show notes. And I just want to thank you, Allyson, for coming on today. I feel like I could talk to you for hours about this, but it's been such a great conversation.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for the amazing work you do in the world. And I've been thinking a lot about how I believe that in all of the light workers and spiritual people out there, there's a healer inside of us. Even if you're a t-shirt designer, even if you're a branding person, you're healing people through your work. And I definitely think you're an amazing example of someone who helps them with their brand and discover who they are and bring this cohesive picture together, and you heal people along the way. So you're such a good example of how you heal people through your work.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for that. That's such a compliment.
You're so welcome. And thank you so much for having me. It's been a real honor.
Amazing. Thank you, Allyson.
If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe wherever you are listening so you don't miss a thing. Your iTunes reviews help the show impact more magnetic bosses just like you. If you leave a review or listen to this episode, share the episode on Instagram and tag at calandra.martin on Instagram so I can thank you personally. If you're craving community and connection with like-minded entrepreneurs, join us inside the Magnetic Boss Collective on Facebook, where you can build relationships and share your business too. Until next time, Magnetic Boss.